Hey folks, Pat here from DNS, and this Madison area fishing report is current as of March 21st. Well, the exciting news is that all of the ice is off the Madison chain now. So if you haven't already, it's time to start at least thinking about getting the boat out or getting it ready. I guess speaking of though, before we get started, I do want to remind folks that game fish season is currently closed on all inland waters, so no fishing for walleye, pike, muskie, stuff like that until the first Saturday in May. You can still fish for bass on inland lakes, but those fish must be immediately released. You can fish for walleye and pike on rivers, so rivers and flowages, and this is definitely river season, and I'll be talking about that quite a bit in this report. Just a couple things to go over quick. Casting for Kids, super awesome event, May 17th, 2025. If you want to be participate in this event, you can go and register for it, and then somebody will take you out fishing. A local person that has knowledge of the area waters, and it's a fun, um, catch photo release tournament, very casual, nothing too serious. And all the money raised benefits the Carbone Cancer Center and the UW Children's Hospital. So it's a great event. And I'll be mentioning it in the future. I'm mentioning it now because they are actually looking for guides for this event. So, and when I say guide, I'm not talking, you don't have to be the Noah Humfelds or the Brian Zupkes of the world. You just have to know maybe a little bit about fishing around town and have a boat. And you could sign up to be a guide because, like I said, it's a super fun, very casual event, and it raises money for a good cause. So if you want to register for the event or sign up to be a guide, just go to casting4kids.org, and you can either register or click on the Contact Us tab here and get yourself signed up. Mention that you want to be, you're interested in being a guide. So yeah, check that out. Cool event, and yeah, we'll keep talking about it. Like I said, it's river season, so a lot of folks headed to the rivers all around the area, and a lot of great fishing to be had. And I know a lot of you know about this, but I just figured I'd mention this handy tool. The USGS is the United States Geological Survey. They monitor a lot of things around the country, but in particular water and a lot of different water bodies. And so if you want to learn about a water body that you're going to and what the current conditions are, I always just Google USGS and then Milwaukee River, and a bunch of different tabs will pop up for what's going on in the river there. And then you can look at different information. It comes up in a different graph. You can get it presented in different ways. There is, height. I'm a cubic feet per second guy. I don't know why. I just always have looked at those numbers. And this one even has like temperature, so you can look at all kinds of different information, see where you're at. Here, like I know when I go over to the Milwaukee River, I don't like fishing if it's above 600 CFS. So here it looks like it was a little high yesterday. It's come down. Maybe it's gone up a little bit today, but I bet it comes down this weekend if we're unless we get like some kind of heavy rainstorm or something. So super cool tool for that. But you can do other bodies of water here. The Wisconsin River. This is Wisconsin River at the Dells. I also know that I feel like 6,000 CFS is a little on the low side. If it's above 10,000, I know that that's pretty high. But yeah, it looks like we're right in kind of a sweet spot here, a little on the low side. But if you're going to a place like maybe the Rock River, you've never been there, you don't know anything about the CFS or what right now it's running at what 2,300. What does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Here you can change the parameters of the time span, so you can click on 7 days, 30 days, or a year, and it looks like here this graph tells us that 6,000 is kind of high for the river, 2,000 is kind of average, and 500 or down here is going to be kind of your low side. So if it's running at 2,300 right now, that sounds like it's pretty good. And they have it blocked out here for ice because they don't monitor that stuff when the river's frozen. But anyway, USGS, big shouts to those folks doing a great job. I guess hopefully with all the cuts going on the federal level, hopefully USGS sticks around because it is a super valuable tool to a lot of fishermen out there. Just a little bit of shop news here. We've been putting winter stuff is put away. We're getting out spring stuff. Got a little end cap here, a couple different products. Widowmaker, awesome lure company, has come out with these buggers. It's like a crappie jig, only with like more hair on it, almost like a woolly bugger fly if you're familiar. But those would be great for crappie, walleye, and probably steelhead over on the tributaries. So something to think about there. These Berkeley Minnonators are like a very realistic little paddle tail. Lindy B-Max jigs. These are like if you're familiar with like a gumball jig that Northland used to make, these are very similar to those, nice wide gap, but the thing is that they're made of bismuth instead of lead. So lead free is the way that the industry is going. Um, I see it more and more. Lindy announced this year that all of their lures from here on out are going to be lead free. So that's going to be just something that's coming, and I guess I totally support that. It's nice to get lead out of the water. Uh, Speaking of lead free, these are Z-Man tungsten Evos. So they came out the Evo last year. These are tungsten Evos. So those are new. A bunch of other stuff, power bait, drip minnows, these Savage Gear pike or muskie lures of just a giant burbot, very realistic and very cool looking. So, but anyway, other stuff we got, like I said, it's river season. We got hair jigs. We got walleye killer jigs made by the folks at the Clements Barge. Walleye flies, great time of year to be tossing walleye flies. So get those out there and swing by the shop and get stocked up. Head up to the river. If you don't want to tie your own flies or hair jigs, or maybe you want to or buy your own walleye flies or hair jigs, you can tie them. And we got stuff for it. I want to thank everybody that's been coming in. The fly tying department has been very successful. I've really enjoyed seeing a lot of folks come through, very heartened by that. And we've been doing re-ups on that like every other week, it seems like. So thanks again. Spring seminar series, we got those coming up basically every Thursday in April. We got Craig Amacher kicking things off on April 10th. Craig's a long time, he's a Northside guy, born and raised, been guiding the area for 25 years, used to manage Fontana's fly department, really knows his stuff, really great presenter. He's going to be talking about fly fishing driftless trout streams. Noah, who everybody loves Noah, he's going to be coming through April 17th, and we're calling it Walleye Wizardry because he's going to be talking about walleye in all the different places that he fishes. So not only does he absolutely have the Madison chain dialed, he's got the Wisconsin River dialed, and he's got Green Bay dialed. He'll be here to answer any questions you have and talk about what works for him. And then Jalen Riddle talking about kayak fishing the Madison chain. So Jalen has spoke at the Fishing Expo a couple times, and I know kayak fishing. I get a ton of people that come in here with kayaks. It's definitely a growing section of fishing. So we're excited to have Jalen come in and really look forward to that. So all you kayak folks, spread the words to all your kayak friends. And then when the seminars are all done that following weekend, Noah's going to be hosting a small boat salmon school here at the shop. That's Saturday, April 26th. This one does cost money. Our seminars don't, but this one he's doing $50 a person at the door. It's honestly a great deal. I see some of these schools over in Milwaukee going for $100, and he's going to teach you how to use a smaller boat to fish Lake Michigan, and he guides on Lake Michigan for salmon and stuff in the fall. So he really knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing, and it should be very informative. And we got a sign-up sheet here at the shop. You can also email info@madisonangling.com to sign up. But the sign-up here's got some names on it. So let's. I think that's going to be a very popular thing. So I wanted to mention that. Pause it here, and we're back. And as for stuff on the door, we are sponsoring this event that is being held. Well, we're sponsoring an event within an event. Driftless Anglers hosting their kind of Trout Days event that they have up there in Viroqua. Great shop, by the way. Go check it out. But June 6th, they're doing an event up there. And Caitlin Hoggard, who's a local guy, great guide, but a fantastic caster. He actually competes nationally in casting competitions. Really knows his stuff. Is going to be kind of organizing this best in the driftless casting competition. So if you want to test your stuff against the best, head up there and have Kalen absolutely destroy you. And he's not competing. So, but yeah, there's going to be. He really knows his stuff. So anyway, it sounds like a cool event. This weekend, Wanakee High School got the Cap City chapter of Muskie Schools going on. So get over there and check that out. Great event. 25 classes they got. They bring in speakers from all over the place. Should be a cool event. Drinking with Scissors this last week got canceled because of the weather. So the last one of the season is going to be April 23rd. I will be there with bells on, and we got a poster for Noah's thing and then a poster for our seminars. So I think that pretty much does it as far as announcements go, so we can get into the report. We did have kind of a roller coaster for temps this last week with some highs in the 60s, others in the 30s. The most consistent thing that was going on is the wind. It really has been windy, but that's kind of March weather for you anyway. This next week looks more stable with most temps forecasted in the upper 40s and lower 50s, so some great opportunities to get out and fish. I won't be doing any more ice updates here. So anyway, as far as an update goes, as far as ice goes, we won't be doing those anymore because we don't have any more ice. But the little bit of ice we had in Warner Bay and the north side here was gone by Wednesday. So Yeah, we'll be talking to you more about ice in, I guess, probably late November, early December, hopefully. Um, Generally around the chain, as far as fishing goes, with game fish season closed on inland waters, most of the traffic coming through the shop is either panfish or bass anglers or folks headed up to the rivers where the walleye and sauger bite has been really good. So most of that action is happening at dams or in deeper holes just downstream. Sounds like a lot of folks are catching mostly smaller males, but I have heard about a few nicer females starting to show up. Walleye fatheads, blacktail chubs, small suckers are all great choices for those fish, but also hair jigs, walleye flies have been putting a lot of fish in the boat too. If you are fishing the lakes around here, most of the fish are up shallow, enjoying the water that warms first. So a lot of good panfish action we'll talk about, and some good bass stuff too. And I guess we'll get into a little more details here. So up on Cherokee, they've been getting some panfish up there, some crappies and some bluegills. Nothing that I guess I'd write home about, but get some good action. You know, again, shallow is going to be the name of the theme of the kind of at least local report here, because a lot of fish moving into that shallow water because it warms up first. 113 bridge area has been good. There have been some folks getting a nice mixed bag of fish. I hear about pike, I hear about bass, I hear about panfish. No cats in there yet, but that's coming soon. And again, the action isn't hot and heavy down there, but folks are getting some fish. Not much to talk about on Lake Mendota with the ice just coming off. I haven't really talked to anybody who's been out there. But again, if you're going to fish anywhere, look for shallow water and you'll likely find fish. Um, the area below Tenney Park is, of course, or below the locks, is closed as a fish refuge down to about the tennis courts down here. But yeah, that's closed until the opening day, May 3rd, I think it is this year. Lake Monona, same deal down there. Not a lot of folks fishing the lake itself, but Monona Bay the action down there has been great. So bluegills during the day, mostly along Brittingham Park is what I hear about here. And then crappies in the evenings and actually past dark. So folks fishing the tracks over here. Most of the action I hear about is on the bay side, but the triangles are also a pretty safe bet this time of year. So that action's always pretty guaranteed this time of year. Lake Winger, a lot of small panfish in there. I haven't heard about anybody fishing bass. The DNR is going to be in there doing pike netting of pike. So if you see folks running around in a motorboat, don't freak out. Over here at the dam, that is also closed as a fish refuge down to Arboretum Drive for the muskies to start jumping. I haven't heard of any in there yet, but soon I imagine they will be showing up. Wanted to thank Marty, who sent us some pics from, he was fishing Turtle Bay over here on Monona, so he got a nice carp there. Here's a pike he caught on accident, but that'll happen. Of course, it was immediately released and very fat. And then he said he got into a bunch of panfish, found a bunch of bluegills over there. So yeah, down here in Turville, same thing over here to Weechawbuck, formerly known as Squaw Bay, and then the Winnequa Park lagoons over here. Also a great early spot. I haven't heard of much going on over there yet, but I bet the shiners they usually move in first. Then it seems like crappies for a couple days, and then bluegills move in. So the action can be pretty great over there. Moving down the chain, you can launch a boat over here at Lottis Park, and you can get over up into Upper Mud, and the dredge hole area has usually a great early crappie or panfish bite. Haven't heard much off Wabisa itself other than some panfish in the lake farm area and down here on the south end. Again, both shallow areas, warming up first and holding fish. Same thing on Kegonsa, fish camp, where the river dumps in here. Also, shallow water, moving water, and it attracts fish. So the other stuff going on down to the river, we've got Indian Ford Dam has been good for walleye and sauger. Koshkonong, I haven't really heard much out of there, but I'm sure there's some good action up here in the Black Hawk Island area. And then pretty much Koshkonong up to Jefferson Dam, some great walleye action if you can find deeper holes. Otherwise, right up at the Jefferson Dam, I've been hearing about some good walleye action there with a lot of smaller males, but some nicer fish starting to show up too. Same thing on the Wisconsin River. Not much that I know about happening on the river itself, but once you get to the dams, so you got Prairie du Sac here, a lot of small males, and I have heard about some females moving in there. So that action's been great. Lake Wisconsin, I haven't heard much in the way of perch. Maybe a little bit early for that, a little cold yet, but soon those fish should be moving shallow. And then, you got panfish and stuff too, crappies and bluegills that'll be moving in. And I haven't heard anything for walleye off Lake Wisconsin. Otherwise, the Dells Dam, same deal. Fish are backed up there, walleye, sauger. I haven't heard much action at the dam itself. I hear it's pretty shallow, but some of those holes down below here also are holding fish. So yeah, and then the Castle Rock and Petenwell Dam, same thing there. Over on the Mississippi, it sounds like the perch bite has been fantastic. It just kind of kicked off this last weekend, so get over there if you're into that. But everywhere from Prairie du Chien up to La Crosse, I've heard about great perch action, so that's fun. Otherwise, yeah, Milwaukee. Of course, there's no ice left on the harbors or anything, but they are getting some steelhead and browns out in the lake itself. And the cohos should start moving up. I heard they're like on the Illinois-Wisconsin border, kind of in that area, but creeping their way up. So the coho bite will be good from shore. But really, the star of the show over here is the steelhead bite. So a lot of those fish are moving into the rivers, or have been in the rivers, I should say. Brown trout also in there with them, eating their eggs, and so they're spawning. Any of the tributaries up and down the East Coast are going to have steelhead in them, and I guess we'll just kind of roll that into our Happy Fly Day feature here. We do carry of course, a ton of flies. Running beads is a great way to catch steelhead, whether on a spinning rod, and I do have floats in now. I got those in this week, but I got a good selection of beads. Got these soft beads here, which are super popular. Got spawn sacks all tied up and everything if you want to try that on the spinning gear side of things. But I like running a bead underneath, behind a woolly bugger or something, or a buggy nymph, something heavy to get it down there, and do pretty well. So otherwise, on the trout side of things, trout fishing, it sounds like streams are low and clear right now, and so stealth is going to be kind of key to success. But if all you really need this time of year, as far as trout fishing goes, is pink squirrel. So you can toss these out, and I almost could guarantee you'll catch fish. But if you want to, challenge yourself or kind of match the hatch a little bit better, you got woolly buggers, beadhead woolly buggers, great. You want to get down, slow and low is kind of the name of the game this time of year. Slow pools, deeper water, working your lures or flies slowly through those areas is what you're going to want to be doing. So woolly bugger with a little nymph behind it, or back to the pink squirrel right behind it, can be a deadly kind of 1-2 punch. If you see bugs rising, fish rising, if you can't see what they're rising to, they're probably on midges. So tiny little black flies like this, size 18 or 20 would be good. If you can see what they're eating and it's like a gray moth that's kind of flying around, it looks like a moth anyway, that's a stonefly. Elk hair caddis in dark colors. These black ones are great, size 16 or so. It's probably good. Otherwise, blue-winged olives have been hatching this last week, and so there's any number of patterns. I don't even know how many blue-winged olive patterns we got here. Probably over a dozen, I'm sure. But yeah, blue-winged olives, definitely want to have those in your box this time of year. So yeah, I guess that pretty much does it for the report. Do feel free to call the shop at 241-4225 if you want us to expand on anything. Do share your comments and catches below. Love to see that. Let us know what you're seeing out there. Water levels, whatever information you think you want to provide. Otherwise, yeah, I do thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week. Thanks so much.